Hey guys, welcome back. This is the Mustang project, part 7. Today we're looking at the roll cage. Our first point of call is the main hoop. We've got to work out a way of measuring that and cutting it to length so we can get it very tight in the roof where it needs to be to maximise the clearance to the driver's helmet and the passenger for that matter. So the plan will be to get the rear hoop done, get the front legs in, and then the upper roof bar. Once that structure's set and we know all tacked together, we'll then pull those rails out that we've put along the sill panel to tighten it all up, and possibly even get the hole saw out and drill 4 holes in the floor so we can drop that cage right down and weld right across the top. If you've ever had your car scrutineered and it's got a safety structure in it, you'll notice nearly every time the scrutineers will run their hands up over the top of the roll cage to make sure that you have in fact welded it solid. So that's very important. So let's get stuck into it. Excited that we've got a heap of momentum going now, and I hope you're enjoying the content. If you've got any ideas how we can make it better for you, just leave it in the comments, but let's get this done. So the roll cage rear hoop is going to end up in that on top of this rail about there. We've got to figure 39¼ inches from the roof, and we're going to measure down to that. Then we're going to add the little bit of packing shim there and this piece of pipe, or rectangular section, and this piece as well, and then that'll give us the dimension from the bottom to the top of there. And we've set that up because of the transmission tunnel in the middle, so you can see that's just missing a little bit. So we think it's 39¼ we're going to go and check that now and make sure that is in fact right before we cut it. Just got to make sure that the top bar top of this bar here is square. You can see it's not quite there, so we just need to adjust that again. We'll make sure that's perfect. We're happy with 38½ inches. It's going to leave us a little bit of room on the top, so we'll just square that up, and then with our template there, I guess you can call it, we'll mark it at 38½ inches, and we'll cut it off and see how it looks. Okay, so I've triple checked this. Got a nice straight line there that we've created with the template. And this is all scrap now. So I'll set up a drop saw now and we'll cut that off. So I've cut that at 38.5 inches. and we're gonna have to cut that back to 38. So it's okay if we cut it too long. We're in all sorts of trouble if we cut it too short. So we'll whip that out and we'll take another 1/2 inch off of. So I've cut the main hoop back to 38 inches now. It's not going to line straight up with that, and that's no real problem to us. So we will plate up and box this little section out here. That's the other thing we're going to have to do is, I only just realised, but the left-hand rear window there's still got the reg in it, so we'll pull that out. Or we might just put the seat in it and see how everything's looking. So at that point, we've got the cage behind the seat. Looks like there should be room for the side intrusion bars as well. We might just take a quick look at that. This is really starting to take shape now. We've got the rear hoop, the front legs and the roof bar in position. Big thanks to Ryan Hoare, who came in yesterday and gave me a hand to get this looking sweet. But the cage makes sense. Little things like the footings there, that bit of triangular plate was supplied with the kit. We'll box that up, and that'll be a really strong point there. And then these little legs, little perches, they'd sit on the channel there like that. I actually thought that the roll cage may have been a little bit closer to the A-pillar there, but we started to realise if we did that, we wouldn't be able to weld behind it. So we've landed that in a position that gives the right amount of room for the driver's foot, and we can then weld the side intrusion bars in as we need. So I think what we need to do, we have the diagonal to put up in the roof. The plan now is to remove these chassis rail strengtheners, or the 100x50 section. We've got these supports at the front, and we also have them tucked up there at the back, so we'll just mark them up. That all fits. We'll keep that together. We'll knock the tack welds off, and we'll try and drive these drive these channels out, and then we'll probably move the cage forward far enough so we can drop it in through there. We'll get the hole saw out and cut that free there. Once the rail's out, we'll mark where the legs are, and I think that's going to give us the ability to drop this right through so the legs probably touch the floor, and then the roll cage is going to be like halfway through the door area there, and it's going to be really easy to weld the top of it. When it comes to the rear stays, they should be able to be welded in situ. But for the time, getting everything welded up on the top is a priority, so let's get these rails out. Awesome, so that's makes it so easy to weld the top, it's not funny. And you can see it's hanging through the car, and I didn't have to drill any front holes because right where that channel is exactly where the roll cage front legs drop through. So we'll get the diagonal notched in, and then we'll weld the top up and we can put it all back together. Got this bar notched in. We're working very closely with bond roll bars. Peter was insistent that it basically call him bar for bar, and I sent him a picture of this and he's just said, "Danny, you've got that in the wrong spot. I need to move that one to the opposite diagonal." And he doesn't actually want me to put the front into the corner there. He wants it to land about 100 mil out there and then gusset again with a piece of 38 mil pipe back down, so you've got the continuation that way. And I'm glad I made the call because that was almost a big mistake. So he's a manufacturer, he designs a roll cage, so we follow his lead. And speaking with him also, he's actually said, pop it back up into position, tack the side intrusion bars in, get them positioned, and then possibly even just remove the lower intrusion bar to drop it all back down again. So as you weld up the top, it doesn't pull the legs too far out of position, and then get everything welded on the top and then push it back up into position. So there you go, we made a mistake. So now we've got to put it all back together. We can check the clearance on that roof bar, even though it's going the wrong way. So it sort of just lets us know when we change that, we've got plenty of clearance up the top. Thanks again for watching, guys. We've got the main structure in place. We need to correct that diagonal bar I got wrong, and we'll probably get onto the next off. We'll get stuck into those side intrusion bars. We'll get those tacked up, and then it'll be time to drop that cage back through the floor, which is reasonably easy, and we'll get it all welded up on the top, and then we can bring it back into the car and actually set it, work on the rear stays. So great progress, really happy with the way that's worked out. Sometimes you make these mistakes and you end up going backwards for a little bit, but I'm so glad that I called Pete and made that phone call before I welded anything solid. So there you go, very close there. Right now I'm on my way home. I'm going to pack my bags, get ready for a flight down to Canberra where we catch up the XD. We'll get that off the trailer this time. We've got a couple of setup changes coming for it. We're doing the peanut track at Sydney Motorsports Park, so it's a lot slower. We're probably going to need to soften the car up to give it a little bit more drive. So we've got that to look forward to, and that is September 30, October 1. So that's Sydney Motorsports Park, our night event. So come on down, say hello, and yeah, let's see what we can do this time around. Small track, big car, let's just go for it. So thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time.